Welcome to the Lovely Important Nonsense Podcast. It's your host of the Lovely Important Nonsense Podcast. And this is the Lovely series. Matt. Cat's on the phone not doing no work. Spelling, baby. Feel good. This is the Lovely series, Men, Mental Health. Why do I have a drink in my hand? Because this is not an easy fucking conversation for me to have. All right, I'll be completely honest with you. But mental health, on this series, what we want to focus on is the health of men, mentally, of course, but we want to talk about the health of men and how men handle things like trauma, anxiety, depression, helplessness, powerlessness, inadequacies, things like that. We want to dive a little bit deep into why it's was a taboo for so long, and why it continues to be why men continue to be looked at as weak for things like mental health. Sorry, this liquor got a boil acid. I ain't gonna be cute about it. The liquor got me, boy. I'm sorry, what you say? Rap is talking to me. What you say? Why we gotta cut that part? Why we cutting that part? They know this is real. They know our burps. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it grossly into the... Anyway, we're going to continue. Okay. So, I guess I'm supposed to share my own mental health situations. What I really don't feel that I'm going to. But we could start off with saying that I do understand that there are that men, or not just men, but anybody, but I'm just going to talk for men right now, that men deal with things in a way that is not healthy for the 21st century. I was talking to someone else on the next podcast that you will hear about the situation, and I would say that it's for the times that we live in. I feel that we're able to finally talk about these type of situations and how it actually affects us in the human body, and how we move and the way we think and everything else like that. But I do think that we men was raised tough because, and there was a time when we had to be tough. You know, this is my personal opinions, and so no one has to accept it. But there was a time where men was needed to be the warrior, right? And anything that is outside of being a warrior was frowned upon, because it didn't show his masculinity, his heroicness, his sense of duty, right? So I do feel like it's very easy for people to say that they have these issues when they don't really. They could just be lazy in a way, and it's easy to say that you're depressed or you're anxious or whatever because you just won't put in the work, right? But then you'll say, wow, well, why won't they put in the work? Why won't they get off their ass? There must be something wrong with them. Could be. I don't know. So that's why I'm asking questions. That's why I got people coming up in here answering these questions, because I think we all know what depression is. When you become a certain age, you know what depression is, or have an idea of what depression is. And then So to hear that someone stays in that state for a long period of time, all crushes most. If you're empathetic at any point, it hurts a little bit. Like you feel something for them because you know what that feels like in a way. But it's hard to kind of understand where these people are coming from, like where what caused the situation. It's hard to pinpoint what made the situation what it is. Maybe there was a traumatic childhood. Maybe they had a traumatic childhood or something like that, and because of that, it caused them to have these I don't know, adult fits, right? I'll say something about myself. Like I had a traumatic childhood. Like I had things happen to me, which was terrible, and I believe that it fucked me up growing up, and I believe that it did shape me into thinking things that I probably is not normal for some people to think. And can I pinpoint which one it is? I don't know. No, I don't know. I just can't tell you. Um, so you don't know what could cause these explosions of personalities. I could say, I guess, because it's hard when I decided to look at people not for being an adult or an 18-year-old or whatever as a number. I decided to look at everyone as a child, and I said, well, something happened to this child, right? If you look at everyone as a child, then you'll start to say, okay, something happened to this kid, because that's what we would say if they were a kid, right? Like if they were like 12, if they were before they're at the cuff of you not giving the fuck, like, because there is an age limit. Like, there's a teenage limit where we go, yo, calm the fuck down. And even though we know teenagers are the most emotional out of all the fucking age groups, they probably need the most therapy out of all of them. But we do understand that there's a limit. Like, you don't get all right, we're gonna give it 1, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. We're back. So yeah, so you don't know when exactly the problem has happened. So say if there's like 5, like, maybe they were an 8-year-old that got molested by a babysitter. How do you know that didn't fuck them up? Or maybe I don't know, Johnny Badass pushed them off a swing when they was 12. How you know they ain't fuck them up? Not that maybe they don't like fat people. It's weird like that though. It is weird. Mental health is so weird to the point, like, I don't know, some guy could have like stole your favorite blankie, and you don't remember this guy, you don't know what it is, but it was so detrimental to you at that time that when you grew up, right, the smell of a cigar, because that was what you remembered from this guy, disgusts you. That's how crazy mental health is. Should you seek counseling? I'm not sure. But everyone says there's somebody you should talk to. So you should, if you have somebody to talk to, maybe you should talk to them. If you don't have somebody to talk to, maybe you should find somebody to talk to. If you can't afford somebody to talk to, maybe you find somebody online. I don't know. Or join an online group and start chatting it up, and don't be weird, what really fucks up people, right, is when they start getting weird with it. Yes, that's what, and not in a way like, oh, I'm socially awkward. No, I mean, like, weird. That shit you wasn't supposed to say and you still let it go. Don't do that. Play chill, ease into it. You know what I'm saying? Fill your circle out. grab your circle, and then give them the weird, and then whoever stays from that, that's your peoples. You bring those motherfuckers in. Sometimes it's a process of elimination, I guess. Friendships suck. The whole thing sucks. If you're looking at this and you want help, I'm be honest, I think we should put the help thing at the bottom. All right, Joe, help things at the bottom. The mental awareness number. So if you do want help, you should call the mental awareness number. But if not, if you want to take it the easy way, join a group. I don't hear nobody telling me to join a group. Join like a little social media group. Facebook got mad groups. Maybe if you're a Joe said join therapy without a degree group. I'll shout him out. Therapy without a degree. Or, if you're a freak of kink, they got those things too. You got to find your circle, right? If you want to be left alone, then shit. Go to the woods. Do what Matt likes to do. I go get me a nice little... I like to find me a spot in the woods, and I get me a tree stump, and I put a log on that motherfucking tree stump, and I'll axe away at the motherfucking world. Do you understand me? Hours. You hear me? I'll build a building, fuck around with me when I need to be by myself. Sometimes you need to escape. Maybe take a day off. Give yourself a few hours here and there. I don't know. Figure it the fuck out, because it's 2021. At this point, you need to figure it out. It's not like the old days, I wish it was. Not really. No, there's too much Jim Crow type of shit going on back then. But not like the old days. We don't need warriors. Ooh, I'm going to spill my drink. Warriors aren't needed right now. I mean, we're a dying breed. Unless something crazy happens, So, got to get in touch with what's making you more psychotic, right? Wow. But yeah, so that's pretty much my favorite thing to do. I have what? Just tell me. This doesn't matter. I'm at 13 minutes. How many more do I have? Thank you. You look like you're rushing me. We're going to keep this in. I just want you to know that. She's trying to take me away from you. That's my job. Anyway, let's talk about a mental. I guess I dealt with my own mental. I could tell you one of things I battle with. Intense rage. I get intensely upset. It's bad. It's bad, like, and I know everyone's like, yeah, the guy's always smiling. It's laughing. I get psychotically upset. I have to have an outlet. I'm one of those guys that need to gotta fucking snap somebody's shit or hit something or run. I feel like almost, and then when I tell people that I do fitness because it's almost like it saves me. I train because it keeps me sane. It keeps me together. The thought, I think this is my own personal idea. Theory. You don't have to listen to me. I think boys are very physical. We're just physical beings. And I'm not sure. And now there are girls who are very physical. There are my Amazons. There are my tough ladies. I love me a lady who could whoop somebody's ass. That's my personal preference. You could throw a dumbbell and whoop somebody's ass. You got my attention. All right. But, and you thick. Oh, you got to be thick. You know what I mean? You got my attention. But, I feel like men are a lot more, especially looking at my boys growing up. Like, you can see they're a lot more physical than my daughter. They're willing to throw shit, jump off of things. They're willing to put it all on the line just to have a little bit of a good time. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it. As a man, I respect it. I want to do it with them. I play with them every 5 seconds. But look, I just feel like guys need an outlet. And then when you hold in all that feelings of aggression and stuff like that, all that wound up tension, when you hold it all in, it becomes something ugly. All right. I've seen plenty of guys who've just been like, they're so stationary, and then they are the most creepiest out of all of them. I'm not saying all guys who are stationary are creepy. I'm just saying a lot of people think you are. So, newsflash, live with it, right? Because I was also part of the creep crew. I'm not going to say I wasn't. I ain't going to talk shit and not be part of the creep crew. I was part of the creep crew. I got to a point where I couldn't even have a conversation with another person. No. But it happens, yo. Whatever reason put me there, it put me there. It put me to the point that I didn't even talk to people. And then when I got out, it was so awkward to have a conversation with another human being. It was just like, why even do it? And then everything downward spiral from there. So you gotta figure it out, I guess. And being a guy and trying to figure this stuff out is not easy, because we are looked at a little like weaklings when we show too much emotions. And I don't give a fuck what they try to tell you. Oh, I want a man that's real in touch with his feelings. No, they do the fuck don't. They don't. They don't want a man that's really in touch with their feelings. But the truth is, we need to get more in touch with our feelings. I guess adaptation is going to happen sooner or later, and they're just going to have to figure it the fuck out. But I think if men don't figure out a way of dealing with their emotional situations or their emotional, I haven't even got the word, just not being so emotional, that we are going to create another offspring of this that does the same thing. And then what? The same cycles continue, nothing progress. But again, I feel like we're only able to do this in 2021 because of the progress they made from the lack of emotions in 2019 or 1990 or 1980, whatever the fuck, right? You know, so I don't know. What do you say to a guy that goes like he's at he has PTSD, and his PTSD causes him chronic depression and anxieties and stuff like that? What do you say to him? So hopefully one of these gentlemen could shed a little bit of light on situations that a lot of men go through, you know, to tell a man to like do a few breaths when he's having flashbacks of somebody or a situation, you know. And then mental health is weird because like people label it, they like to be so like simplistic about it. Like, oh yeah, just go see a person, you know. They just go talk to somebody and they're gonna help you out. But I don't think it's as simple as that, you know. I just feel, you know, it has to be something. And as a guy, when you really lock into something, like when you put your mind to whatever that is, we lock in, you know. I'm not saying like fuck it. I'm not explaining that part. We lock in. I feel like we lock in where we have so much data as a guy that we want to deal with, and to start talking about dealing with mental health is energy that a lot of guys don't think they want to expend. And to be truthful, we're probably not going to see a giant significant difference in mental health until the next generation grows up, because this generation is probably going to talk about mental health more, providing that they didn't have so much mental health themselves, so they can now talk about the mental health. Oh man, sorry, I was talking to Kat. She's making faces. But hey, I don't know. You can see, you can pretty much, I don't even. You can pretty much see in this whole thing that I don't even understand what mental health is. I don't understand, and that's why we're bringing these people on, because even I want a little clarity on how people are dealing with their situations, like traumas and pain and men. I want to know how men is dealing with this situation. They know this is a man series, okay? I'll say something that gives me anxiety as a man, right? Explaining myself, explaining my manhood. That gives me a fuckload of anxiety, yo. The worst thing to a woman, especially a woman, the worst thing is for someone to question what makes you a man, right? But then when a woman questions what makes me man, even as she's just fucking around or whatever and she's being cute, then they're usually trying to be cute about it. That shit, oof. I can't handle that. That shit that annoys the fuck out of me. I couldn't even do it. And what else as a man, I could tell you other men don't like. We don't like to be asked about our bank accounts or money. We don't want to know about. Honestly, if we're going out with you and there's money involved, we've been anxious. We already knew what time it was. We're probably anxious because we're like, damn, how much money am I going to spend? You already fucked us up as soon as the date started. You know what women should really start doing? All right, here we go. I'm about to be a man advocate right now, right? Before the date even starts, she goes, listen here, yo. I got this. and allow him to be like, nah, chill. But she gotta be serious though. She gotta really got this. I think women don't understand how much men really appreciate the hand reach for the check. Reaction, do you appreciate that? I think really do appreciate it. But after a while, don't do that every time. Like then it gets annoying. You're like, all right, now you know I got this. Chill the fuck out, right? But the first date, the reach for the check, yo, come on, son. Do that. What else makes a guy anxious? We never want to know your ex's dick size. Don't tell us none of that. I don't want to know. Women talk about it, trust. They talk about it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Don't tell me your man ex's dick size. Don't let it accidentally. I don't even want to know that, ooh, you bigger than my ex. I don't want to know none of that. Don't tell me none of that. Don't tell me nothing about your ex. Your ex never existed. Right? He died in a horrible car crash. He was mangled from the neck up, you know what I'm saying? And the dick down. Just everything gone. You know what I mean? He's just a torso now. They put his eyes in his head. I'm gonna stop. Because I'm turning this into a bullshit episode. Listen, guys, on this mental health series, you can see how I deal with my mental health pretty much. I like to say crazy shit. Anything that makes me laugh. But I hope this is what I hope to gain from this podcast. A little bit more understanding about what men face mentally. I knew someone who was going through something and themselves who themselves took their own life. So I just want to know, like, when does the will break? Like, when does it become too much? and like how to identify it, or how to identify a problem before the problem escalates. You know, how many minutes was that? That was good. I feel like I did a lot. I'm not like a professional or something at this. This was your boy Matt, and this is a lovely important nonsense podcast, the lovely series Mental Health. Hopefully next time I come back on and talk about this, I have a better understanding about the situation, about what guys about, and maybe hopefully then we'll all be a little bit more open to talk about things and problems. But until then, we're just gonna learn together. Spelling, and we out.